It's Chris and Des Show. I'm Chris.
And I'm Des.
And today we're going to talk to you about Judy, the film about Judy Garland, starring Renee Zellweger. Des, what'd you think?
You know, I got into it. I fell right into this is Judy Garland. I was into the story. I learned a lot. I didn't know about this part really of Judy's life. Like I knew that she was addicted to drugs practically her whole life because of the studio got her on drugs. And you know, that can't just end well. So I figured I just didn't know the details. And so this movie really put it together for me for that end of life part. I thought Renee Zellweger did a really good job. I even bought her singing. Like, I knew I could tell it wasn't Judy Garland, of course. But I think it would have been weirder to have Judy Garland's voice coming out of Renee Zellweger. I think her voice was good enough that it got you through the movie. Or for me, it wasn't a distraction, and I was fine. Because she really doesn't sing very much. Like, she sings a couple complete songs in the movie, but that's really it. And the rest is acting and storytelling about what's going on in her life. But I thought it was good. And I was surprised at the end when they throw some facts up at the end. And I had no idea that she passed so young. And it was really great. I thought it was a really good movie. What did you think?
Yeah, I liked it.
I really liked it.
I think I liked it less than Des did.
I liked it a lot.
I love Judy Garland. Who doesn't, really? I love Judy Garland.
If you don't, you should.
And
give her a chance.
Give her a chance. She's wonderful.
She's really
wonderful.
She's
actually.
really good. And boy, did she get screwed over by those.
And I think there were some parts that I don't know. There were two problems I had. One is that I don't know how accurate the stuff was they were saying. Because I know of my Judy Garland history.
I don't.
And so I was like, I don't think that's right, actually.
Okay.
And so if you're going to make a movie about someone who's that famous.
Yeah, you should be fairly accurate.
I think what they were trying to get across was, like there was a scene with Louis B. Mayer and her. And Louis B. Mayer was a jerk to a lot of people. Don't get me wrong now. Mm-hmm. But there's this part like where they're kind of hinting at like the Me Too movement of like maybe he said like, oh, where's your heart? And like he's like touching her right here. But even though I know he was not a nice guy, let's just say that, most of the time. And he was strict, like hard guy. He also was super like hated all the stuff that was immoral in a sense. Like he wanted all of his pictures to be shiny, beautiful films that the whole family could go see. That's what MGM musicals were all about. Like that's why Judy fit perfectly. Like you're this little girl who's with her dog in Kansas, blah, blah, great. Yeah. And everyone go see it. He loved that. And he hated all that other stuff. Yeah. And though that doesn't mean he wasn't a bad guy, it just seemed out of place. And I've never heard anyone say that about him. Like, usually you hear stories about all these guys, but no one's ever said that about him from my knowledge. And he actually was a huge supporter of Judy Garland for many he wanted her to look a certain way because he wants to make money at the end of the day. I get that. Don't get me wrong. But he also was a huge supporter of hers in a lot of ways when other people thought she was too kind of weird looking, which is, who the heck? I don't know what people are saying back then. But he gave her a shot and put her in a lot of big movies and she became Judy Garland. So I don't know if that part was accurate. I don't know about her and Sid and that whole situation. Yeah. Like I didn't know
anything about that marriage.
I would love to hear what Lorna Luft thinks of this movie.
Oh yeah,
because she's in it also. Mm-hmm. Liza's barely in it, but Liza had already come out and said she had watched the trailer and read about it, and she doesn't think it's accurate.
Oh, okay.
And that's not a good sign.
No, that's not a good sign.
Because that's our closest connection we have to Judy Garland. Is Lorna
her daughter.
And Judy and Liza. Yeah. So that's it. So that's a bad sign. But I get it. The heart of it was a good idea. Like Judy had some rough life. Yeah. Amen to that.
Right.
And then she had just a hard time. Poor Judy. I just love her. So I bought Renee Zellweger with all the acting. I thought she was really good acting-wise. The singing thing kind of drove me crazy, though. For the opposite reason of Des. Like, In Walk the Line, I love that Joaquin Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon did their own singing, and it totally, because I don't know June Carter Cash's voice really, and so I was happy to hear Reese Witherspoon sing. It didn't bother me.
She was fine.
And even though I know Johnny Cash's voice, Joaquin Phoenix was enough like him that I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And it felt real and authentic. The problem was, at times, I felt like I was so into her, like, especially if it was her walking on the screen and, like, talking for a while and then singing, I felt like that was more okay. When she was going from this, like, deep acting of, like, she's, on this binge and she's crying and upset and her acting's really good, and I'm really buying her as Judy Garland. Like, maybe this is Judy I'm watching. And then as soon as, like, it goes right on the stage and then she's singing, I'm like, this isn't Judy Garland, though. Because no offense to Renee Zellweger, she has a nice little lowercase s singer voice, and Judy has the biggest uppercase s singer voice that you can find. And so it's like, oh yeah. And at the end, luckily, Judy's voice was kind of hitting the rocks a little bit at times, and so it was okay for it to be lighter first. But I think there were just a few times, and it wasn't every time, but a few times she sang that, I was like, this ain't Judy. Because it wasn't Judy.
I was so far into it by then that I wasn't analyzing that anymore.
Yeah. I think, Des got into it more quickly.
Yeah, I really got into it.
And I think part of it for me was right away I hit those
more knowledge.
Problems of, like, is that really what happened?
Yeah, see, you came with more knowledge about
out of it a little bit.
I just let the movie take me. Yeah. So, but
I love Judy.
It does kind of make me want to read a biography of hers or something. I'm sure there are a million of them out there. Yeah. So find an accurate one.
Or maybe Liza wants to come talk to us. Liza, we're available.
You're more than welcome.
Come join the Chris and Des show, Liza. We'll sit and talk about.
You need to hashtag Liza Minnelli.
That's right.
Let's get her in there.
We'll watch all your mom's old movies together. We'll just talk about them.
We'll have a good old time, Liza. Come on out.
Come on, anytime you're welcome.
For sure.
So anyone knows Liza, just give her a call. Lorna, you too. Lorna, Liza, and the Chris and Des show.
Bring it.
We're ready anytime.
What more fun could we possibly have?
We'd have a great time.
That would be awesome.
Okay, well, that's our summary of Judy. If you love Judy Garland, see it, and then maybe you can see if it's accurate or not. Yeah. I will say, there's another YouTuber, her title is Be Kind Rewind. She loves Judy Garland also. She gives some really good insight. Her channel is fantastic. Subscribe to her because she's amazing. But follow her, a review of Judy as well, too, to give you some more insight. Okay, bye.
Bye.